In this lesson, we're going to build a new part into this model, and we're going to use some of this existing geometry to do so. In this case, we're going to start the front of the speaker where the grill mesh will be in the end. So go ahead and open up your top plane again and open up a sketch. Now I'm going to reference right off of these points that are up in the front. I'm going to come over here and use the square tool. Deselect. Now I want a full round for that mesh that's going to be in the front. So I'm going to come over here and use the circle tool. And now I'm going to trim it down to the extrusion that I want to make. So I'm going to take away these lines. Now I'm going to leave it right here because now I can play with the depth of what this is going to be in the front. So I don't want it to be too big. I want it to be proportioned to what's happening in the back. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to trim this. Oops. And then I'm going to exit out of the sketch. Now for that first extrusion, we kind of just pulled it and eyeballed it to the height that we want it to be. In this case, we already have geometry. So we're going to use the extrusion tool. But in this case, to make sure it's flush with the other geometry, we're going to go ahead and come in here and pick a face. So we're going to pick this face. That's as high as we want it to be. We're also not going to merge this. In the end, this is going to be another piece. We're actually going to cut it into a couple pieces now. So go ahead and not merge that. All right. Now to give it a little bit more of visual elements, we're going to cut this top and this bottom. So we're going to do that from a side view. So go ahead and open up a sketch in your right plane. Now again, I want all the things that I'm doing to be symmetrical. So I'm going to use reference points again. So a reference line, so I can mirror what I'm doing. And pick that center line of the object. So once you've done that, now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to use the box tool to make some nice thin little cuts. I'm going to select this to mirror with that reference now. So go ahead and select that. Come up here and hit the mirror. Hit OK. And then let's exit out of that sketch. Now we're going to do an extrude cut. And since we're on this center line and everything's symmetrical, you go ahead and come over here and hit midplane. And this will make sure that it's going through the entire object. You're also going to want to scroll down and pick the body that you want to cut. We just want to cut this front. So let's select that. Hit OK. Now we have these nice little cuts that made that first piece into 3 pieces now. And later on, we'll fillet these and make them look really nice. I'm going to do one more cut just to bring this piece and this front piece kind of further away from each other. So let's go ahead and open up another sketch. I'm going to come in here. You're going to go ahead and drag this towards the bottom. Now we're going to come in close, and we want to separate this piece from these pieces that are up here because they're right up against each other. It's going to make it look a lot more realistic in the end if you take the time to come in here and cut away some of this material. So we got a nice little line there. Go ahead and exit the sketch. And again, we're going to use the extrusion tool right off the midplane. In this case, we're going to cut all of them. So you can just go ahead and hit OK, and it will select all of them for you. And there we go. Now we have 3 pieces for the front and 1 in the back.